Hey guys, Jimmy Yin here, the acupuncture guy with Achieve Integrative Health. And today we're going to continue the conversation about nutrition. And what about nutrition? Today we're going to talk about the topic of the gut, which is super important, especially right now, because we're all talking about with the coronavirus pandemic, or of any type of virus pandemic, we're talking about the immune system. So in our clinic at Achieve Integrative Health, and we look at, when we talk about, helping people restore, getting better quality of life, we're looking at their function, the organ function. Because if we think about it, it's actually our organs that help us heal. So when we're talking about the immune system, what does that actually mean? What does the immune system actually mean? Which organ actually dictates or really has a big influence on the immune system, right? Have you ever thought about that? Because if you really want to boost your immune system, it's not about just getting random vitamins, nutrition into the body. You want to provide the nutrition for that specific organ that helps the immune system, right? So let me just draw the picture out. So we have the immune system. I got some new markers, so hopefully y'all can see this a lot better. So we got the immune system. So what organ really controls the immune system or dictates the immune system, right? There's many different organs, and depending on who you ask, every single organ in your body affects the immune system, right? And so we have, different systems like we're talking about organs, right? Let me write this down. Let's say what organs? Organs which organs help the immune system, right? So we're talking about organs, we're not talking about systems. So we're talking about, the skin can help, right? The spleen can help, right? The liver can help. I mean, I can literally write down every single organ, and every organ is going to benefit the immune system, right? But what is the main organ that actually helps dictate the immune system? Well, if you haven't figured it out, the answer's on the board, and it's the gut, right? So the gut is the number one organ that helps dictate your immune system. So what does it mean by the gut? When someone says the gut, what does that actually mean? Right? Have you ever thought about that? What does it actually mean when someone says it's the gut? Well, hopefully you're taking notes. I'm going to erase this now. So when we're talking about the gut, okay, what organ? So again, remember we're talking about organ function. To really boost the immune system, and hopefully I can make this point very clear. Boosting the immune system is not as simple as taking vitamin C, it's not as simple as taking zinc, it's not as simple as taking whatever nutrient, vitamin Bs. Every nutrient has effect in your organs, in your immune system, right? But if we're looking, supplementing vitamin C is actually a short-term solution. I'm focused, and my clinic's focused at Achieve Integrative Health, we're focused on long-term solution. So short-term solution, you can supplement with vitamin C, you can supplement with zinc, you can supplement with some other herbs. Those are short-term solutions. And we definitely use those in our clinic. But we want long-term solutions, right? In order to long-term solutions, you have to find the root cause. And so the root cause, like I said, to the immune system, let me put it back. The root cause, or if your immune system is imbalanced or weak, if your immune system is weak, then it's because the root cause is because of the gut. Okay? So again, this training is about a long-term solution, not a short-term solution. In our other trainings that we've done, those are focused, some of those I've given some like short-term solutions, like the vitamin C, the zinc, and any antioxidants. Those are short-term solutions, okay? So remember, we're focused on long-term solutions. So the long-term solutions, we have to fix the gut. So the gut has the gut has bacteria, right? And it's really, to really keep it simple, the balance of the good, this is your good bacteria, and the bad bacteria, the balance of these two bacteria dictate your immune system, right? And so I've explained this to many of our patients, and most of our patients love this, my simplified version of how I explain, how organs function. But some people want it more complex, right? But for this purpose, for this training purpose, we're going to keep it, at a general level, a more simple level, a simple level that anybody can understand, even your kids can understand. What is it? What do they say? If you are able to explain it where a fifth grader can understand, then you really understand what you're talking about. And number two, most people will be able to understand, right? So I'm going to keep it at that level so that everybody can understand. And actually, this is how I communicate in general in our clinic with our patients, because I don't want to complicate things. I want all of our patients to understand what is happening, what are we doing in our clinics, why are we recommending herbs, supplements, treatments, and so forth. What's the purpose of that? So that they can get educated. And when you're educated, when you have knowledge, you have power, because you have that power that you are able to use for yourself continuously without me and without our team, and you can also pass that power, that information on to your friends and family and help them. Okay, so again, the immune system. Immune system is dictated by the balance of the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. Okay, so when your bad bacteria, let's say here's your good bacteria. When you're good, I'll just write good here, and I'll write bad here. Okay, so when your good bacteria normally is, let's say, at this level, and your bad bacteria normally should be at this level. Right here. Okay? You should have more good bacteria versus bad bacteria. So the good bacteria actually suppresses the bad bacteria, and that's how it keeps your immune system in check and in balance. Okay? What happens when your bad bacteria starts to overgrow? Worse, it overgrows your good bacteria. That's when things start to happen. The immune system gets imbalanced, okay? Why is that? So your body can identify the good and the bad, right? Your body doesn't naturally kill every single bacteria in your body, right? If it did, we would be dead, because we have bacteria all over our body, all over our skin. Bacteria is everywhere in our body. Our innate ability, our innate God-given ability programmed our brain to say, okay, the good bacteria, they're good. Don't mess with them. Bad bacteria, let's attack them. Let's kill them and prevent them from becoming an infection. Whenever you get an infection like sinus infection, colitis, diverticulitis, diverticulosis, IBS, IBD, all of these, Crohn's disease, all bad bacteria causing inflammation. Okay, and so when your bad bacteria starts to overgrow, okay, then your brain, Mr. Brain, I'm gonna draw Mr. Brain right here. Mr. Brain. Okay, so your brain has sensors all over your body. And when they sense that this bad bacteria is overgrowing, is way overgrowing, like you can see how higher it is, more than your good bacteria. So when it starts to overgrow, then your brain is going to start saying, it's going to start sending the troops, because it's thinking the body's getting invaded. It's getting invaded by the bad bacteria. So the brain is going to start sending troops to go and kill this bad bacteria, okay? So that it can restore the balance of the good and bad bacteria, right? So when the brain sends its troops, okay, the first time, okay, yeah, they know, the troops know, okay, these bad boys right here, okay, they're red. So let's attack every bacteria that's red, okay? Now the first time, they can do it successfully. The second time, they can do it successfully. But if you're forcing your body, your brain, to do it multiple times throughout like years and years and years, Eventually, the brain's going to be like, okay, I sent in my snipers and I was taking these out, but these bacteria keep going higher, okay? So now I gotta send my ground troops, okay, and see if that works. If that doesn't work, then I'm gonna send my tanks, okay? I send my tanks and just start blowing everything up, okay? And if that still doesn't work, if that still doesn't reduce the bad bacteria, I'm gonna drop a nuclear bomb. I'm gonna drop a nuclear bomb on the bad bacteria, which are in your intestines. So does a nuclear bomb differentiate between, good and bad? No, of course not. So when the brain drops a nuclear bomb, drops a little bomb right here. Let's see if I can draw a little bomb. Okay, drops a little bomb, right? Okay, that's terrible. I'm not even gonna try to draw the bomb. Let's just say drops a little bomb. The brain's going to drop a nuclear bomb and it's going to kill everything, even your good and your bad bacteria. So when it starts killing your good bacteria, then what happens? What is that? What condition is that called, right? That creates something called, what many people have right now, an autoimmune disease. An autoimmune disease is when your body attacks itself. But that all started from this, right? So sometimes, now the next question would be, what causes this? What causes the bad bacteria to overgrow? Well, there's many things that cause the bad bacteria to overgrow. If you feed the bad bacteria, it's gonna overgrow, right? So what are some foods of the bad bacteria? Number one food that the bacteria love to munch on and snack on? Sugar. Sugar, right? So if you eat tons of sugar, not only will you raise your blood sugar and get diabetes, you're feeding all your bad bacteria to grow. You're causing it to overgrow and causing this cascade reaction, the brain to drop a nuclear bomb and generating an autoimmune disease. Now this doesn't happen overnight. This happens over years and years and years. And most of the time you don't even feel it happening, right? You only feel it when the bomb is dropped. That's when you really feel it, right? So sugar, one way is you got to make sure you reduce sugar, okay? But also, what else could be the problem? Sometimes the good bacteria you just don't have enough of, so it just drops below this level. See, it went down. It dropped below this level, and maybe your bad bacteria was actually normal. It was normal down here. See? See, if this was the normal level of the good bacteria, and this is the normal of the bad bacteria, you have that good balance. But what if your good bacteria dropped, and now it's the same or even worse, if it's even lower? So what do you do then? And what was the cause of that? Right? The cause of it is you have not been eating enough good bacteria. That's the cause, right? And so the solution to that is obviously to put in more bacteria, right? And so that is the topic, the main topic of today, is to make sure you have a good balance of the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria, right? I mean, I could go into more detail about what to do, but today we're going to focus on how do we replenish the good bacteria, right? So that's why if you notice right here, there's 3 things that we can do to help build our gut, which are help build our immune system, right? So building our gut, this is the reason why we take probiotics, where you need to eat probiotics, right? So probiotics are basically supplementing these good bacteria, making sure the good bacteria is always above more than the bad bacteria so it can keep it in check, okay? That's the reason why you need to eat probiotics. Now probiotics, you don't have to just take it from a supplement. I'm going to go over some supplements today that we prescribe to our patients that get phenomenal results, but I'm going to tell you this part of this training is about what you can do at home. What can you do at home for your family? Okay, so one of the things is probiotics. So how do we eat probiotics, right? I'm going to erase this. Hopefully you took some great notes. We're going to move on. So where do you get probiotics? How can you eat it, right? Some of the places that you can eat it. So let's go here. So one of the places that you can eat it is fermented food. Now here in the US, the most common fermented food, the most common fermented food is sauerkraut, right? Or pickled vegetables, pickled cucumber, pickled pickles, right? You can get that from fermented food. It's a fermentation process that gives you that natural probiotic, right? So you can ferment anything. You can ferment tofu, right? You can ferment pretty much any vegetable, right? Actually, in my parents, they at home, they always they always have fermentation going on in their house, okay? Not beer, okay? Not that type of fermentation, but fermentation of vegetables. So they usually have like 2 glass jars about this big under the cabinet, okay? Because this is an anaerobic process, okay? And also it needs to be in a dark environment for the fermentation to happen. Okay, so they actually have 2 jars. One jar is actually filled with like almost like vodka, 40% proof, 40% proof of alcohol, and they ferment vegetables. Like vegetable peels, some fruits in there, and what they do, they ferment it for about 3 months, and then every night they'll take a shot of it. Okay, so those of y'all who love alcohol, here's your chance to get some alcohol. Okay, you're gonna ferment it, and you just take a little shot glass, and you'll take a shot of it every day. And at night, because alcohol is actually a mild sedative, right? It can calm you down, but you also get that probiotic from the fermentation, right? And so the second jar that they have is actually in vinegar. They ferment it in vinegar, right? Like these stuff taste nasty, okay? I can remember my parents when I was younger, they would force me to drink it, and I'm like, oh man, it's super nasty. But now, as I'm, that I've studied Chinese medicine and I practice Chinese medicine, I actually appreciate all those things that they did for me when I was younger. So the second one is a vinegar. So the vinegar is fermented in vegetables, and they actually take vegetables out and eat that, okay? Again, 3-month fermentation process, right? There's different ways of fermenting. Here in the US, they ferment quite a bit with celery juice and just add some probiotics and some celery. Celery juice, I think that's what they use, and water, okay? There's so many different ways of fermenting, but there's either way, it doesn't really matter. The fermentation process is the key, and that's what gives you that probiotics naturally. So we eat in our diet, in the Asian diet, we eat some type of fermented food almost every single day. It is crucial. It's just part of our culture. It's not part of the culture here in the US, and that's maybe why there's a lot of immune system problems going on here, right? All right, so ferment probiotics, the best place is to ferment it. One thing that we have here is apple cider vinegar. That's fermented. That's a great type of fermentation. Also, you get the apple cider vinegar. Actually, the apple cider vinegar helps the gut completely, all the detox organs in your body, and so it is very beneficial. I would highly recommend you do that. So apple cider vinegar. And the most common brand that we buy here in the US is called Bragg's. They're organic, so very good, very popular, okay? So probiotics is crucial, right? Remember, we want to help that good bacteria, and I'll keep it down here. So let me keep it down here. I'll remind everybody, so the balance of good versus bad bacteria. So the balance of good, that's what we're seeking, okay? Good balance of good versus bad bacteria. Okay, so probiotics. If you don't like some people are like, I don't like fermented food, it's so sour, okay? And they don't like any type of fermentation, okay? besides beer, the only thing they want to ferment is hops. Okay, that is not a good probiotic because of the sugar content, the alcohol content is sugar. Remember, sugar, you're almost like helping your good bacteria and your bad bacteria at the same time. But usually what wins is the bad bacteria, okay? So what do you do if you don't like the fermented food? Well, that's where supplements come in, right? That's what we're talking about, nutrition, the supplements. So we recommend various types of probiotics. What I recommend is staying away from dairy-based probiotics, okay? Dairy has no benefit to the gut. It's actually detrimental to the gut. Anything from a animal milk, whether it be cow milk or goat milk, is harmful to the gut. It will tear up your immune system. People who have like allergies, oak season is high right now, but mold is all the way all year round. What we've noticed is that people with allergies, the first thing I tell them to do is get off of all dairy products. That includes milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream, butter. Okay, get off of those, and a lot of them, after 2 weeks, 50% of their symptoms go away, right? Just from getting off of dairy products. Milk does not do the body good, it actually does the body harm. There's no benefit to milk, not even calcium. That's another topic, but I'm telling you, that's a myth, okay? The dairy industry had a lot of lobbyists that made everybody say milk does the body good, but it doesn't, right? So what do? Well, you get some probiotics, right? Probiotics, there's different types of probiotic, there's different strains. How many bacteria do we have in our intestines that are good? Millions, okay? So these are two, we're out of the other ones, but these are two of the probiotics that we use. These are made from Douglas Labs, multi-probiotic 40 billion, multi-probiotic 15 billion. Does the billion really matter? No, it doesn't. Everybody's trying to out compete with each other saying, oh, I'm gonna have 100 billion probiotics, okay? Next one, they're gonna be, I have 100 trillion probiotics, right? That doesn't matter. You know what's the key about taking probiotics? And this is what people don't know. Probiotics, you should never be taking the same probiotics